I probably thought that being an adult would be easier than being a kid. I think that I always thought that, like, as I got older, things would get easier. But that's not necessarily true. You know, school gets harder, and then you go to college. College is hard. Then you go out into the real world, and you have to worry about, I guess, just, like, a lot of things that I never knew that you'd have to worry about. Like, I obviously never worried about money when I was little. Never worried about, you know, making schedules and being on time, because everything was all planned out for me. My life was just, you know, get up, go to school, come home, do your homework, go to bed, hang out with your friends on the weekends. But when you have responsibility and you have freedom as you get older, you get, it's harder to choose between things that were always just the things that you did. Stop time. Not a question. Would love to be able to stop time. Feels like it would be so much easier to get things done. Be able to stop time along with someone else. So I'm not the only person in this stop time world. But if I could, like, hold on to whoever I want to stop time with, and then everything else. There'd be no deadlines, there'd be no, I mean, I probably wouldn't be very productive. But simple. Definitely time freezer. I'd probably, if I didn't have to worry about money or talent or anything, I'd probably want to be someone who works with celebrities. Not be a celebrity myself, but get to, like, know famous people and get to know what, like, that kind of world is like. Not even necessarily, like, a photographer, like, a makeup person. Maybe, like, I always said, like, a journalist for Rolling Stone, because I think that would be really sick. That was, like, the kind of people you would meet and, like, the things you would get to do and who you would get to talk to and just, like, all the stories you would hear. I just think that'd be really cool. I always wish I knew how to play an instrument. I regret quitting music, but, I mean, I play clarinet and I hated that thing. I would love to know, I wish I learned how to play guitar or piano when I was little. That would be pretty sick. Definitely musical talent. Green. Always been green. I had a blue phase once. But that was short-lived. Bought my iPod, though. My iPod was blue. Didn't like it. Wished I got the green one right after. Probably a lot of country music. A lot of Taylor Swift. Really embarrassing stuff always comes on when I put my iPod on shuffle. Oh, Dane Cook always comes on, which is really annoying because, like, it interrupts everything else. I had an emo phase when I was in 7th grade, so a lot of that stuff would come on. Fall Out Boy. Bare Naked Ladies, they've been my favorite since I was little. I'm just trying to think of the ones that I have, like, mass quantities of. A lot of Bare Naked Ladies. Goo Goo Dolls. OAR. Taylor Swift for sure. Country music in general. And then, like, always when I put my iPod on shuffle, things come on. Like, I've never heard this song in my life. Just never. Things I didn't even know I had. Which apparently I bought or downloaded at some point. But probably mostly country music. Ghetto black people are loud and annoying. I think that rich black people are fine, but I think poor black people are loud and annoying. Somewhere in Europe. Because I had so much fun when I went to Switzerland, but be able to ski in the Alps. Love to do. The thing about Europe is that you live one place, but you don't have to spend any time there because the trains in Europe are cheap and convenient and easy, and they go through all the different countries. So you can live in Paris and, you know, be in Prague in a matter or Switzerland or Italy in a few hours, like a day trip. So that would be pretty cool. But if I could visit anywhere, I'd probably go to Australia because that's, like, a place you would never get to visit. People sometimes say China, and I'm like, way too crowded, way too many people, can't deal with Chinese. Like, 1 billion people, see you later. But definitely vacation to Australia, would live somewhere in, like, Central Europe. Warm, though. Southern Europe. South of France. That'd be nice. Taylor Swift. Is that allowed? Am I allowed to say that Taylor Swift influenced my life the most? She definitely consumes a lot of my time, but realistically, I'm sure my mom has influenced my life the most. Just because, I mean, she's my mom, you know. She always helps me out, and she's really, really good at making decisions, and I respect her for that, because I can present her with something and she can always give me an objective answer, which is really helpful. So yeah, probably my mom has influenced my life the most. My former response for this question was James Madison, but is that still my response? I think so. I think so. James Madison, even though it's dorky, because We the People changed my life, and there's so many things now that we don't know about the Constitution and the way that the government was envisioned to run, and it would just be cool to talk to someone who was there, and who knows how these things are supposed to go and knows how political parties are supposed to be, because our government is so not what they wanted. So it'd be cool to see what they want. Pull out of Iraq. And Afghanistan. If we have Osama, we don't need to be in Afghanistan. I don't know why we went to Iraq in the first place. I think I'd pull out of those wars and I wouldn't deploy any more troops. Pull out of the wars and do what I could to fix the economy, but it's kind of in a shithole right now. Not a very simple task. But if I could snap my fingers and it'd be done, first thing I'd do is fix the economy. I just don't know what moves I'd take to get there. I can rattle off a list, but a top few, obviously Miss Shibaro. But not only for her teaching, just because of... She is, I think, the first adult that recognized me as an adult and treated me as an adult. My parents baby me still, more than they should. I think that Shiv actually took us seriously when we were a little bit younger, and she's someone I could talk to about anything because I respect her and she respects me back, which I think is really important. Mr. Edwards is one of the most brilliant men I've ever met in my whole life, and his dedication and the amount of hours he put in to helping his students and how he was genuinely interested in our success, that was really huge for me. I think Miss Yance might be the most intelligent person I've ever held a conversation with. She just knows so much about everything. Even the things she says she doesn't know about, she knows about. And anyone who can memorize all that stuff, pretty smart. And as much as she busted our balls during AP Euro, it obviously worked out. Miss Benzie is one of the sweetest people I've ever met in my whole life. She's such a sweetheart, and I just love her for that. I don't know. That'd be really scary. Because I feel like I'd only want to know the good things. I feel like I'd only want to know when people were thinking good things about me, or good things in general. But if I walked by and heard no, I couldn't do it. I would feel too guilty spying. It sounds cool. I couldn't be able to read minds, though. That'd be awful. Way too much pressure. It's hard to, if you're not the greatest number. It sounds great in theory. It depends on the sacrifice, though. It depends on what you have to give up to get that good. If it's something superficial, then probably. Like people giving a fuss about healthcare because it's socialized medicine and people have to pay their tax dollars to help someone else, but if it comes down to saving life, I think that's important. But that's just a monetary sacrifice. It really depends on what you have to give up, I think. And the corresponding amount of good that it does for the great number and the amount of people it affects. That's a tough one.